What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out another episode of the Blu+YouPodcast. And in this episode, did Tia Mowry really just sit up on a show and claim that divorce is like a graduation? I have something to say about that. But first, check out this quick ad, and I'll be back in a flash. You're looking for an online store with unconventional options? Well, look no further than Thread Market Z. Thread Market Z is an online merch store delivering a little of everything, from tees to party shades to bumper stickers and even hats like the Clementine D trucker hat for cosplayers. Use the link in the description to browse the merch, which also supports this podcast, and I thank you in advance for your support. Now back to the show. And we're back. So without further ado, I want you to check out parts of this interview here that Tia Mowry had on a talk show, and see what you think. This is her talking about her marriage and things coming to an end. By the way, she's the one who wanted this divorce. Her husband was fighting to stay in the marriage. And also, listening to this, granted, you can still, raise your children accordingly, and when it's the other parents' time with them, they can be transferred over to the other parent or dropped off. But it sounds like she still has a friend in him. But I don't know if I'd be as cool with her listening to stuff like this.
It was better to be lived. Your life's better lived apart than together.
Yes.
How did you know that it was time?
That's a really good question.
To take that route?
I knew when I really started to focus on my happiness. I feel like women, we tend to focus on everybody else's happiness, making sure that everybody else is okay, meaning our children. Meaning, our children, our friends, our, family. But at the end of the day,
that's a broad brush, because that certainly doesn't represent all women. There are women who will certainly have kids based on the desire to get child support that can ultimately turn into money that would fund their lifestyle. And when they're with the mom, which some, and I have to put that in quotations, when some have the children, which can usually be a good portion of the time, or 100% of the time, the child's not technically with them for a long period of time. They might even see some of them for like a few days, and then they got a babysitter that the child actually lives with, and I know this. And so the baby will live with that babysitter, or they will live with the grandmom while mom's out doing her thing. And, this doesn't mean that the guys that they have the kids with are any better. But I know guys out there who are fighting to spend time with their children. I know guys who were seeking to get custody or partial custody or joint custody, and the kids will end up being taken out by the mom because she didn't want him to have any percentage of the custody. And I certainly wouldn't say that it's all moms, but I do know that there are women out there like this. So that broad brush is kind of like, that's not true for everyone. But let's continue.
About self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening.
By the way, she never said that she was abused or anything of the sort. But she's saying here, it's about self-love and being happy and so forth. And it's the divorce is already there, but just listen to this stuff. So she didn't see the marriage as something that she could be happy in or feel loved in. And what is that saying to her children? What is that saying to her fan base? What is that saying to other people on the outside looking in? Like, man, they were married for a long time. So is marriage even worth it? I'm married. I want to be happy. I need to love myself. So that means that, I should really be getting a divorce like Tia Mowry. Assumptions are powerful.
And it's not easy. It's a hard journey. But at the end of the day, I feel like it is so worth it. So, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Again, she wasn't abused or anything of the sort, and like she said, divorce is a challenge, basically. But she's saying that it's worth it.
What I think, here, people at home are sitting thinking, I feel this. Because marriage
takes a lot of work.
And it also takes a lot of guts to know when you need to change something.
Yes, it really does.
It takes a lot of courage to say, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where you knew, I have to do something different?
By the way, that's another downer about potentially dating someone that's, or marrying someone that's a celebrity of sorts. This type of stuff, she's getting a full-blown interviews and stuff. No one's gonna I don't think anyone's gonna reach out to him about this stuff, and he in all likelihood wouldn't go on camera talking about their marriage and things like that. And How many of you would assume that she would be pissed off and her fan base would be pissed off if he said that he needed to be happy and get self-love and things like that in regards to marriage? They'll be like, well, the marriage isn't all about you and all this other stuff that would be laid on thick if he were the one saying this stuff. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what do you think? Do you think the energy would be the same if these words were coming out of his mouth? Just keep that in mind. And would the thumbs still be up in the air and applause would still be going on if he were the one on TV doing interviews about their marriage and posting things online, even though they're allegedly cool? That's just a question.
Yes, I feel like when I started to, again, like I said, focus on myself, but there was this sadness. And I knew that life is short. I had actually, lost my grandmother. We had lost Elena Housley, and both of them at the same time. There was just an aha moment in me where I said, you know what? You need to tap in, see what's really going on with your happiness. Life is short. Let's go. Let's start working on you and really focusing on what really, really matters here, which is at the end of the day, your peace, your joy, and your happiness. So I would say that. And I was in therapy as well. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of therapy. So
to be fair to a certain extent with this part right here, I can't be mad at that. Like if I'm not sure what was going on in the house for that to not be a thing, but peace and joy are definitely important. And if there's I don't know if there was a constant fight or anything, she didn't mention any of that. She would always I think she mentioned something about being the breadwinner at one point and taking issue with that. But it's like, on that note, she might have a hard time moving forward if she thinks that finding someone, which I don't know if she wants to ever get married or be in another relationship again. Who knows? But if she does, this is going to be a challenge, because the average guy doesn't earn what she earns, and she might not want the average guy. She might have dreams that she's going to meet someone else in entertainment, and they have the star power and the money to match that star power, and all that kind of stuff. But I don't see that being a thing. I won't say that it's set in stone that she's screwed or anything, but you got to remember, when you're running your mouth, people will listen, and listen good. If they fear certain things or think that a woman would just jump ship after a period of time, it's like, no, I'm not going to invest time in that. There could be arguments, and really great arguments about, why, she left her last husband and all this other stuff. but you don't know what will be sitting in the back of that other guy's mind. Like, yeah, with that type of stuff doesn't cover 100% of the base, like the basis as far as what constitutes as you losing your peace. If something occurs that you feel like you lost your peace and you aren't able to have that the self-love that you value, this relationship is over. So why even get into it to begin with? And like I say, she says that they're still cool and stuff, and they're still working together, which and still communicating like without any issues and things like that. But what are these interviews saying to the guy that will make him want to continue that? And I'd say to him, if he were listening to this, I wouldn't take it in a sour direction as far as bumping heads with her, but as far as being buddy with her, that will be gone. Versus putting the energy into bumping heads with her, it would just be a straight drop off. This and this occur with the kids, or this is coming up if